Let's do it. I'm ready for this. As you said, Ano, Hana, and these two players are tied up 1-1. Makes it not only a single elimination, but it's a best of one, basically. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's a best of one, but with lots of history behind it, because ZVZ does have mind games. In fact, I would say all mirror matches in StarCraft II right now has a comfortable amount of mind games in terms of what you really scout from your opponent. And the fact that, again, you're very safe early on is a double-edged sword because you don't know what they're doing, even though you're safe. So we'll see what happens. Last time we saw Jookto go for a 10 pool. Will anyone go for early shenanigans this time?
You know, I've thought a lot about like the positioning where you are in terms of a best of 3 series, best of 5 series, and historically I've seen not only in my casted games but my own games that I actually play, whenever you're in a best of 3 or best of 5 or whatever it is, the last and final game is the game where you see the least amount of cheese. I don't know how I don't know, man.
Gimmicks first son yesterday was game 3. We
those
pull
are
out all
6
the
cheeses in 3 games. That was absolutely insane. But you know, in my experience, I haven't really seen a lot of cheese, and I think that's why we have such a different opening coming out from Coca. Coca is like, okay, it's the last game of the series. Is my opponent really going to 6 pool? Are they going to 10 pool? Probably not. I mean, would you really want to risk everything on a 6 pool or 10 pool coin flip?
Ooh, look at this. Coca's not only going for hatchery first, but he's also going 15-16 on his gas. So he's going to play even more greedy in that regard. So Coca pretty much maximizing as much as he can his economy early on. And Jookto did go for a lot safer route, and as a result, Coca will be slightly ahead, just marginally, but nothing too heavy. Oh, but excuse our manners, we haven't actually introduced our players. Starting in the top left, we have the red Zerg from Team Slayers. It is Coca, the guy that everyone would say is one of the favorite players to go really far in this qualifier under other people like Vines and Sleep. Would you say, Andre?
Yes.
Do you agree? Okay.
I would agree.
And the bottom right,
sorry,
we
I
have
was focusing on
the camera
getting
work.
the good, getting the good camera work.
The
so
Startail Legend angles. In the bottom right, we have Jookto, the Orange Zerg that's currently teamless, formerly on OGS and Jung. Jookto, kind of unorthodox, but been playing pretty standard. He hasn't been doing anything too crazy. Roach-based aggression and timings based off what he scouts his opponent. Seems very nice. And that's cool, because that means Jookto is more than capable of playing these solid, stable builds.
Do you want to mention real quick that getting this gas first actually doesn't affect his spawning pool timing? The spawning pool after a 15 hatch, when you're going 2 drones directly after that, and I wouldn't be able to tell this to you if I haven't been playing a lot.
Really? I thought it was I thought it was a really greedy way to play though, because I know people go the common build was go 15, 16, 17, so you can get 16 drones on minerals. But you delay the gas a little bit, so you can get that pool a little bit earlier in case they were. Like,
oh yes, yeah. There are builds. Don't get me wrong. There are builds that you can get the pool a little bit earlier. But if you're economic centric, then obviously you don't have to worry about that.
So you're saying
you're right. You're right.
So you're saying the extractor didn't really delay the pool that much then, right? So it doesn't really matter.
It's super negligible.
That's kind of cool. Well, I guess in that case, I really like Coca's choice then.
But of course, you're committing 3 drones to that early game stage, and that's actually going to affect how you are able to double queen. As you can see, it's just slightly off with these 2 hatcheries on the larva injects. And if anything, the main is actually supposed to be up before the natural because the spawning pool finishes before this hatchery finishes.
Whoa.
So his queens are slightly off because of that, and that's how you get affected.
Yeah. And actually, larva spawns are actually pretty important in terms of, you know, like how you manage something. Because, Andre, I'm going to drop a knowledge bomb, and about 1/4 of the way, if you make an overlord, that's what it should line up perfectly.
Dude, that's what I've been doing.
You've been doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was going to surprise you, Andre, with some knowledge.
No, I've been doing that.
But if you start an overlord when your inject is 1/4 done, it'll spawn at the same time so you can make fresh units.
Yeah, I've been doing that. At first, I was like, oh, let me try halfway.
Yeah,
and I was like, no, that doesn't work. And then I went 25%, and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that ever since.
It's kind of cool. And that's kind of, you're right, lining up injects is actually really key in terms of production, especially ZVZ, but also controlling your Zerglings. 3 for Baneling is not that bad here from Coca. And of course, Coca canceled his he canceled his Baneling nest in his main a while ago. That's what I was wowing about. And Coca did that in response to his opponent because he saw Jookto was again going for defensive Baneling.
Yes.
Going to cut a little bit of corners, feign aggression, and get his Roach win a lot earlier.
When you see 2 spine crawlers down already, you're like, okay, my opponent's probably not attacking me. There are sick mind games that you can do. You put up like 3 spine crawlers, and all of a sudden, floods of Zerglings and Banelings come. But I think that's the silliest build to actually do. It's very easy to actually stop that. But you can see Coca in this position would not be able to. Never mind, Roach is popping out. I take it back, Frodan. I take it back.
No, it's okay, Andre. But I think right now Coca has made all the right moves. Granted that all the information he's gotten and forced out of Jookto. Jookto, of course, has been playing a little bit more defensive. We're saying that he's a safer player in this entire game.
Yeah.
He's been going full hatchery, defensive bane. He gets 2 spine crawlers. That's how safe he's been trying to play. He did the same thing on Cloud Kingdom as well, and I kind of like that. You just scale back your economy a little bit, but you have that safety so you can drone up. It's still to a comfortable count. Now, Coca, again, he's been the one kind of squeezing things out. He has a few more drones. He has his upgrades a little bit earlier in terms of getting out his Roach count and being able to get up things like his lair. But now Coca is also going for a fast infestation pit again. Same thing he did in game number 1. And it seems like Coca has been a really big fan of using his gas early, and that way he can get earlier infestors out, and I guess wants higher energy counts by the time they confront.
Frodan, I love when you talk about gases. It's like talking dirt in me. Seriously, it's awesome. I hope the rest of the casting world actually takes up all of my gas counts.
That should be really cool. I mean,
that's all I have to say. Anyway, third base, slightly faster.
I think it would be cool, Andre.
Yeah, Coca is slightly ahead in every department. The unit count, the drone count, and the expansion count. It's just very, very slight, but nothing too substantial that's going to say Coca is going to derive a massive advantage from any of these. So I do think the game is still up in the air. Both these players are actually mimicking each other very, very closely. You can see even Infestation Pit and the Pathogen Glance, just 15 seconds off. It just facilitates Jookto to be a little bit more defensive than his opponent.
Now Coca's starting to roam the map a little bit more. Jookto has been focusing heavily on his economy, and Coca has a very large army comparatively.
Uh-oh.
And this is what Coca loves. This is his comfort zone. In fact, no Infestors out just yet for Jookto. It's still a while before he's able to do anything. And now Coca's trying to micro and really try to optimize his Roach Concave. Managed to strike right before the Spine Crawler is finished as well. Wow. And now Coca has an opportunity to strike. I'm having flashbacks to Coca versus KDY because this exact same thing almost happened.
This exact push is developed just to take advantage of opponents that, you know, try to skimp off a little bit just for a second and drone up like crazy. And Jookto putting that drone count down actually killed himself. And I want to say Coca was, just according to this, was about 1 inject ahead of his opponent. So I guess that is quite a substantial, and he was able to actually materialize that into something, this push, of course. But Coca did take a little bit of loss in Harvesters. You can see he did kill quite a many, 12 Harvesters right there.
And now they're equal on workers as well, except Coca has a hatchery advantage and a queen advantage. So that larva cycle will start to compound over time, give Coca the ability to just constantly control the map, just because armies can't be moving out too far without the safety, because now Infestors are out. Your army loses mobility actually with Infestors.
Oh,
because,
incredibly.
Yeah, you can't leave Infestors alone. Plus, if your army gets caught, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Infestors, I didn't realize it. They slow you down substantially. Yeah. I've been in situations in ZVZ where I let my Infestors go, like just straggle behind for a little bit, and all of a sudden I have these burrowed Infestors that pop up and fungal all my Infestors down. They're all grouped up, and you really can't afford that because the Overseer, of course, is going ahead, and it's really, really annoying. So you have to make sure that you keep up with every single one of these Infestors. But of course, when you have such map control like Coca, you can basically do whatever you want.
Well,
look at this.
He's
scary.
Both players are supply block. Oh, but Coca gets caught by a fungal. Now forced to engage, but his Infestors are now coming into the fight, and he's not going to try to losh down anything. Instead, he's going to drop Infested Terrans. Now, again, this is to keep the third down. If he can stifle his production that way, Coca would be in a very good position again, taking advantage of his gas count as well as his army count, but at the same time, he lost a lot of roaches because of the fungals placed by Jookto. So good micro from Jookto, but Coca again snipes third and retreats. Coca did lose a lot of his infestors. Actually, he only has one infestor left to tell the tale.
Yeah, I have to say, Coca has been really, really bad with keeping his infestors alive. He did that in the Daybreak game. He just threw them away needlessly, and he's doing that again here. And if I have to be critical on Coca, that's the only thing I would be critical on him. I mean, he's been phenomenal otherwise, but he has been losing his infestors very needlessly. And Jookto, he can actually take advantage of that if he's able to keep his infestor count pretty alive. And here we have it. Infestors are going to pop out at the perfect time, 5 of them actually. And this is not going to bode well for Jookto.
Well, I want to give credit where credit's due, Andre. Part of the reason he lost those infestors was because of the fungals from Jookto, but will he land the fungals this time? Instead, his roaches are the ones that are latched down, and we see a bunch of infested Terrans dropping from Jookto, trying to see if he can snipe and add the DPS necessary, as well as tank the damage. Coca finally burning some of his energy and using it on the fungals of the roaches, and now Coca holds, and Jookto's counterattack has been thwarted.
And now we're in a position yet again where Jookto is so far behind.
He's ahead in drones, but that's because I think he thought he was going to be able to pressure back after killing so many infestors.
Oh, man.
And now Coca.
No bueno.
Coca, I swear, Andre, I think it's because he keeps baiting attacks from Jookto because he says, I'm going to lose so much, but I actually have such good macro that I'm going to have way too many units for you to overwhelm me. And now I can go for the 3rd kill on the 3rd. This is just brutal. He's going to land another fungal, but that's exactly what Coca wants. He wants to last the fungal. Jookto says, no! GG. Don't want to even see it.
No. It was too ugly right there. The fungals were in position. Oh my god, I have the perfect positioning of this too. It's like, no. Can we go to screen real quick?
It was one of those things where it's like,
oh,
you're spamming. Where's the F10? Where's the F10? He's like pressing F9. He's like looking at his achievements. He's like, I don't want to see it. Get out of here. Oh man, Coca wins another ZVZ to advance to the round of 32, showing why he is one of the favorites to take this qualifier, I think, the distance.